Yeah, what's going on? Peace and blessings, man. Sending you peace and blessings. It's your boy, Ron the Sound Chart. It's back with another video. Once again, it's a great day for PB&J. I got some strawberry jelly. I got me some Teddy's all natural vegan peanut butter. Packed with the nutrients and the things that your body needs. So you can go out there, you can be the best version of yourself. You can be healthy. I love peanut butter and jelly. That's why I call myself a sandwich artist. Today, real quick, I want to talk about keeping your identity in a relationship. Keeping your identity in a relationship. A lot of times we get in relationships and we lose ourselves. Recently, I've been watching a lot of podcasts that have been talking about that. Like, a lot of times relationships don't work because we tend to get so deeply involved in them that we lose ourselves. We lose our identity. We lose our passions. We lose our purpose. We lose self. We stop doing the things that we used to do. It could be simple, minor things like, right, your exercise habits, your artistic creativity, your passions, just your everyday cycles. Because sometimes a person becomes all of us. They become our life, and then we lose ourselves. Perfect example. And a lot of it is stemmed from inner work that we need to do with ourselves. When you do the things and you do the inner work to work on yourself, learn self, love self, then another person coming into your life is just a plus, like Disney. And you're able to then coexist with someone. See, the name of the game with love is like two people loving themselves together, coexisting and evolving to the next level together, right? And I just, I wrote down a couple practices and things that we can do so we don't lose ourselves along the way. Now, a lot of it stems from, of course, anxious attachment, avoidant attachment, things of that nature. A lot of times we feel like we can find the love for ourselves through another person, but the only way to truly find love for yourself is through yourself. Because if your love depends on that person and they leave, now you've lost yourself because they're no longer there. A great example, right? With peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like, they complement each other. The jelly needs the peanut butter needs the jelly, but you can still eat peanut butter by itself. The peanut butter doesn't need the jelly to survive, and the jelly doesn't need the peanut butter. But together, they become one of the perfect snacks, right? Together on the bread, let's say that the peanut butter is chilling, the jelly is chilling, and then they land on the same bread. You know what I'm saying? Now they're good because they're on bread. They're good individually, but the bread is the stability of the relationship. You know what I'm saying? So the stability of the relationship, the love for self is what can make the relationship and take that relationship to the next level. So I decided to dig into my handy dandy fluorescent journal. And I just wrote down a couple things that I've heard that really stood out. We confuse being chosen with being safe. A lot of times we think we're safe and we think that we're being loved just because we're with someone, right? But just because you're with someone doesn't mean that you're safe. And just because you're with someone doesn't mean that you're being loved. Their presence takes up that feeling of having to face yourself. We confuse staying together with growing together. It's one thing to just be with someone, but it's more than just being with someone. We have to grow. What are we contributing to the purpose of our relationship? How are we growing? How are we evolving? Slowly giving ourselves, we stop being with ourselves when we get with someone else. We lose ourselves, which I just spoke previously. We lose ourselves. Like, you might try to fit into a box and stop doing certain things because your partner doesn't do that thing. So, like, you might be a person who likes to explore. Your partner might be somebody who's a homebody, but because they're an explorer and you're a homebody, you stop exploring, you become a homebody, you lose yourselves. So your visions, your goals, your relationship isn't equally aligned. But you're doing that because you love that person more than you love yourself. Now, yes, you can have times where you can have boundaries. You can come to a conscious decision to still co-regulate, to still coexist. But once again, that takes two people, not just one person doing something for the other person, the other person not doing it at all, if that makes sense. This is another quote: when hope replaces love. A lot of times, the hope that you have for that relationship, the potential that you see in that relationship replaces the actual love itself. Potential doesn't equivalent to change, and dependency doesn't equivalent to love. Whilst being with someone, love should bring more joy than anything else. So, like, if you find yourself being with somebody, but you're losing your happiness of yourself, you're losing that spark within yourself, that right there is not love. It's removing the love that you have in your relationship, so love cannot exist. That's not love. That's just existence with someone, coexistence. love should not stop you from expressing yourself fully, which is so true. You should still be able to be yourself with this person. You should not lose these attributes. Not saying you shouldn't grow with someone, not saying that you shouldn't stop doing certain things that are not good for you or your partner, but you should still be able to be yourself fully. I love peanut butter and jellies. If my partner says, bro, I love you, but you can't eat these peanut butter and jellies almost every day, and you can't make these videos about peanut butter and jellies, it's either the peanut butter and jellies and me. If I stop eating peanut butter and jellies, then I'm taking away a part of me that is me. That's what makes me me, and that isn't love. That's not a relationship. So you should never lose yourself. The things that you love to do, who you are, the spark, the friends, your lifestyle, all of that, all those things should be embraced. Your personality should be embraced. It shouldn't be dimmed. Your light should not be dimmed. And I love this quote: how full your life is individually should prove how great the relationship would be. So you have a great individual life, and your partner has a great individual life. Neither person is taking away from the other person's lives. Y'all are definitely living to your fullest potential, living to your purpose, doing what you're supposed to be doing. Studies actually show that when two people are living their lives and living their lives to the fullest ability that they can, also both being great, relationships last longer. You have to let your relationship is your partner's a flower. You should let them grow. You should water them every day so they can grow. They should water you every day so y'all can both grow and become trees. And you don't have to do this. This is just a quick exercise. Write down 5 people that you like to hang out with outside your relationship. Right? You should not lose your friends. You should be able to keep your friends as long as those friends are helping you to grow and elevate. You should not stop hanging out with your friends. You should not stop hanging out with your family members. You should be able to keep those relationships. So list down 5 people that you hang out with outside your relationship. What are 5 things that you like to do outside your relationship? A partner can support your healing, but they can't be your healing. So a lot of times we try to find our healing of our traumas and who we are and the things that we need to work on through our partner, but we can't heal through our partner, but we can heal beside and with our partner. Another way to not be fully dependent on your partner is to have self-awareness. Self-awareness into your relationship. Tell your partner how you feel. Communicate so y'all can grow together. A lot of times, once you've shut down in a relationship and you cannot communicate fully with your partner, that is not a relationship at that point. That is just a partnership with no support. You should never find yourself not being able to communicate with your partner and if you do, then they've reached an emotional ceiling that they can't meet you there anymore, and it's not a relationship. The moment that you have to suppress your feelings and you have to suppress the things that you say, that is not freedom. And this last one is the one that's going to be the one. You can't expect your partner to heal wounds that they never created. See, a lot of times, like I said, we go into these relationships and we're unhealed and we want our partner to heal us. We have to heal within ourselves. We have to do that inner work. We have to go to therapy by ourselves. We have to do the exercises. We have to forgive ourselves. We have to work and build our self-esteem up, our confidence up, who we are, continue to learn about ourselves, continue to get rid of those past traumas so we can be the best version for our partners. A lot of times we get with our partners and we feel like they can heal. If they love us enough, they can heal our wounds. But no, we have to love ourselves in order to heal our wounds. Yeah. And once again, I decided to make this list because, like I said, from my experiences, I continue to ruin relationships because I wasn't loving myself enough to be with a partner to be able to love them. Remember, love will not cause you to shrink or hide who you are. You can fully be yourself. It's moments where people start to feel like they have to hide who they are through relationships, and that is when you know that is not, a partnership. It's not a healthy partnership. A lot of times we get with people because we just don't want to be single. So a lot of times we see the red flags, but we ignore the signs. A lot of people, when they never say this, they never talk about the red flags that they notice or the signs until after they break up, but the signs were always there. Because the love that you have for them causes you to cloud your judgment. A lot of times when we love people, we cloud our judgment. We don't see the signs because the love is blocking them. The right relationship will allow you to express discomfort without fear. You're able to say you're scared without feeling judgment or abandonment. If someone loves you, they'll love the parts of you that don't just serve them. The right partner will celebrate your independence. The right partner will celebrate your dreams. A relationship is not a competition. A lot of times we change who we are for a partner so they'll stay, and then they leave you because you've changed for them. A lot of times your partner never gets to know you because you're projecting what you think they want to know about you onto them, just so they will be there for you, just so they'll stay. We confuse interest. Interest doesn't mean long-term relationship. A lot of times, because of the interest, people will stay longer when it was just interest. Once again, I was in relationships where I lost myself being in relationships, but then after the relationship, I found myself. Most of the time, we lose ourselves because we want the person to love us. A lot of times, we lose ourselves because we don't even know who we are for real. And we just want the love. But through losing myself, now I found myself. Everything's a learning experience. A lot of times, we lose ourselves because we want love. The right partnership will expose and allow you to find yourself. Sometimes it's too late. We find ourselves after. But don't lose yourself. Find yourself before you get into a relationship. So then there's you loving yourself fully, them loving themselves fully. Y'all both loving yourselves fully. Love y'all. Have a good one. Love you. Go eat one. Bust it down for me. Bust it down for me. See y'all next video. Yeah.